Hello, YouTube. We're going to do a sketchbook tour today. This is my third completed sketchbook. This is again an ELO sketchbook. The cat decided to scratch up the back of it a little bit there. I do like the ELOs. I like the square format of them. One of these days I'll try out one of the different types of square ones, but I like the paper and the sketchbook of this. I decided not to do any drawings on the front of the cover, but I did find this cute little gnome sticker on Redbubble, and there's a couple of other gnomes that came with it. I don't remember which store I bought it from. It was a couple of years ago. But if you do know where this came from, please feel free to put it in the comments below. In the front here, I've got another one of the little gnomes, and then I started off my sketchbook with just a fun doodle page. And then over here, I started trying to figure out what my first page was going to look like. So I put a bunch of different doodles here to try and figure that out. And obviously this is the one I went with. I was trying to do some journaling here. I'd seen some other artists do that, and I thought maybe I'd try it. I tried it once, didn't really like it. And this was just kind of a cool leaf that I found while we were camping. This is a goals page. This one was inspired by a Redditor at CHARSHEE. I used their idea to make my goals page. They did these circles and squares with pretty flowers, and so I took heavy inspiration from their design to do my goals page here. And then this was from a photo reference from a camp that we like to go to, and this really nice stone wall that I liked. And I started to draw it, and then just got bored with it and decided not to finish it. Here I was taking a Skillshare class by Jazza. It was his 28-day drawing challenge, anatomy and illustration for comics. And I color-coded the different muscles. Sorry, my cat is walking in to say hi and knocking things over. Hi, Moxie. And so, yeah, anyway, I was saying I'm color coding the different muscle groups to say whether they are active or relaxed in different poses, and drawing all of that out from his class to help me understand how the muscle is going to behave in these different positions. Sorry, my cat is wanting attention from me, so she's right over here. Continuing that same class, here I just found a picture on Pinterest, I believe it was, and started to try to do it with colored pencil and didn't really like how it was turning out, so I gave up on that. Here I was trying some architecture, some kind of medieval architecture, and trying it out, and wrote some notes to myself. This was inspired by Drawing with Waffles. She had a video, it was years ago, I think this was in 2021, where she was drawing different dinosaurs, and I thought that sounded like fun, so I gave it a go. She likes to start off by drawing what the thing looks like from her imagination, what she remembers it looking like, and so I tried that, and I obviously have no idea what a stegosaurus looks like, so there's my thought of what it looks like, and then I looked up what a stegosaurus looks like. I was also playing with a technique that she did where she takes a pen and then goes over it with a clear blender marker from alcohol marker, and it will bleed out the colors and lets you do shading. And then I continued my Jazza anatomy class here with legs. I'd done this a couple of times in different sketchbooks, trying to understand what kind of art actually makes me happy. What do I want to draw? And so just writing down some information about what I've been enjoying and what I haven't been enjoying. I found this beautiful medieval style dress and decided to go ahead and draw that. And here I was studying more of the anatomy and drawing the muscle shapes right on top of the picture with gel pen. I wanted to do a nice spread, and I decided to do bones. Looks like I picked out bones from a couple of different places. I was studying how Da Vinci drew bones, so these are both from Da Vinci, from drawings from him, and then just other bones that I found pictures of online. I really like this spread. It makes me very happy. Here I was trying to draw from life a little bit, but I wasn't really sure how to draw the leaves without having to draw out each individual leaf. So I was trying out different ways. But over here I looked up online to see how other people drew leaves without having to draw each individual leaf. So I was trying some of those different techniques out here. Yes, and I wrote down what I liked and what I didn't like down here. Experimenting with gestural style sketches, just drawing shadows in. I've seen some people do this beautifully. I was not so successful, but it was worth a try. I was trying to draw some mushrooms and get the structure correct. Continuing with that anatomy for illustration class and understanding legs and color coding the different muscle groups. And this was practicing what I had learned using some different references that I got. I believe these were from Graffiti Studio. I like this page for the most part. I think the legs are pretty successful. This is cut out and pasted in here. I believe this came from Jazz's class. Continuing with understanding the leg and how which muscles would be engaged depending on what the leg was doing. And here is more studies, again from Graffiti Studio's reference packs and from some Pinterest references. I again like how this page looks. I like how these legs look overall. Overall, I really like how all of these look, and I like the purple pencil. More from that anatomy reference, understanding how abdomens look, continuing to understand that and color code which things would be active. And then more studies from, looks like, again, from Graffiti Studios. This is turned around so we get to see the back of the person, the body, and trying to understand, like, if I had a 3/4 view, how that would look. More of the same thing, just understanding anatomy. In a previous sketchbook tour you saw where I was starting to work on ideas for mermaidifying my karate instructor. This is some more ideas on what that might look like in trying to understand how to draw octopus tentacles. This is another piece that I want to do some point. I just have not taken the steps to do it. Part of it is fear that I'm not going to be able to do it, but I need to get over that and just go ahead and try it. Here, continuing to do more studies on the human anatomy. This is a 3-marker challenge. I tried out a couple of different ideas over here, and I went back to an idea that Mira Byler had on one of her videos on how to fill a sketchbook. I like how vibrant it is, and I like how everything swirls in together. I like these dark spots where everything wraps underneath. You've seen me do this before. This is contour drawing. Over here, I was doing blind drawings. These are blind contour drawings. So this was a bookshelf. It doesn't really look like one. And then there was a chest, a clock, my cat, and a vase. The vase is actually relatively good. I love this spread. I love the colors. I love how everything turned out. This again was one of those 3-marker challenges. I like to do these when I'm bored and not sure what to do and I want some color in my sketchbook. Just go and grab a couple of markers randomly and start swatching them out and come up with a couple of different ideas. And I really like doing 3 different pieces or 4 different pieces, just dividing the page up and drawing stuff. And I love how this turned out. I love how the composition is. I love the colors. It's super simple, but I think it's really pretty. This was playing with doodles. I believe that this was a Skillshare class. I really like how that turned out. I had this really pretty blue paper. And then this is a set of pens that I have that turns silver in the middle, and then you get a color around the outside. I don't know if you can see that. This is silver and a blue, and I have a whole set of them, a bunch of different colors. They're really fun, especially for doing doodle type drawings. But overall, I really like how this looks. I like the colors. I like how it's nice and cohesive in terms of colors. Continuing to do more anatomy study. So this is my friend's dog. My friends like to do a coloring book for their kids for Christmas every year, and they ask their friends to provide them with line art to put into their coloring book. So I did a sketch of their dog to provide to them for their coloring book. And this is just a fun little wreath that I was playing with some colors. I like how this turned out. It might be a cute sticker. Move some words in the middle. This is a fun exercise that I think I found on a Skillshare class, but it was called the Peanuts exercise. And you can see that I drew these little peanut shapes. And then the idea was you needed to take those shapes and then make them into people. And so you have to figure out if that's the body of the person, then what would that body look, what would that body be doing? And it was a lot of fun. I remember I really enjoyed this. This spread is just me playing with art supplies. I think I had seen some people do different styles of water and I wanted to try it out. And over here I was just working on gradients with different pencils and pens just to practice that and just doodling some random stuff around the house. Here I asked my spouse and my son what I should draw, and they said I should draw a minotaur, and I decided to try and draw it from imagination first, and this is what I thought a minotaur looked like from my imagination, and I knew that that wasn't right, so then I quickly looked up after I had drawn this guy, and I decorated him for Christmas because it was Christmas time. I looked up what a minotaur looked like and then drew this guy, and again decorated him for Christmas because why not? Minotaurs like Christmas too, right? This was a Zentangle style thing. I don't remember what this is called. I think it might be kind of cool if you color it in with different colors and it looks stained glassy. Much of the rest of the sketchbook is going to be dedicated to me learning how to draw hands. I've heard a lot of artists say that drawing 100 of something will make you much better, much more comfortable with drawing the thing. So I first started off understanding what the basic structure of the hand is, and I found this online somewhere. I don't remember where because I didn't write it down, but here's the basic structure of the hand, and then I was figuring out like, okay, how would I understand how these fingers look when they're coming at you or different ways. And here is a beautiful spread of hands. Most of these are my own hand. There were a few that I found online, but I'm very happy with this spread, and it boosted my confidence in drawing hands a lot after doing this spread. So the next page here is continuing to draw more hands. Many of these are references from Pinterest. And you can see I use a couple of different types of materials here. I use some charcoal, which is why I've got this here so that they don't smudge onto each other and ruin each other. I absolutely love, love, love this spread. This guy, Able Art, makes some beautiful artwork. I will try to remember to link him down below. But I really love all of his border work, and I wanted to understand how he does it. And so these are all directly from him. These are not my own creations. These are replicates of his work so that I could understand how he does it so I could do it myself. And then over here, I was taking his borders as inspiration to make my own. This one, and this one. I think that are my own designs. These other things I was looking up how to draw some other things. So a lot of these are still references, but I absolutely love this spread. I think it's beautiful. This is the style of thing that I think I want to try and do more of. Here, I had an idea that I was going to go through the monster manual and start drawing different creatures, monsters from the monster manual. And the first one that I wanted to try was a dryad. And so I started to try and figure out, all right, what would I do? How would I make this more like a finished piece? And so I was trying different ideas here. This was the beginning of 2022, and I wanted to create some art goals for myself. I don't know that I've met any of those goals, but they're good goals. Continuing with hands, this was ballpoint pen. I think my style's a lot different with ballpoint pen, but I do like it. I was playing with banners and some flower doodles. Nothing important, nothing terribly interesting. Just some line work exercises over here, and I think I'd seen maybe another artist do something like this in their sketchbook, and it was just different types of arches, and I really like that medieval architecture style, and so I wanted to try drawing some different arches, some cool flowers, some cool bugs. Another 3 marker challenge. I tried to come up with something as more of a finished piece instead of patterns, but obviously I decided to go with patterns over here. I do like the colors together. I think it looks pretty cool. More hands. I wanted to try and draw more backgrounds, so I found this picture of a cute little log cabin and wanted to draw that. I think it turned out pretty good, and obviously left some notes for myself. Continuing to work on portraiture to understand how to draw faces. This girl I saw on Pinterest and thought she was adorable. I loved the green hair, loved the orange glasses. She had this cute little smile. I didn't capture it super well, but overall I do like this picture and I loved the reference photo. Love this piece. This is a black piece of paper that was on my Arches watercolor block. So I popped it off there and took a white charcoal pencil, I think it is, and drew these tentacles coming out of the darkness. And I'm super happy with how this looks. Just working on perspectives over here and lighting. I was doodling some different sticker ideas over here. Rock studies. This is some sketch work that I was doing. I have this little accordion sketchbook. It's about like this big, and it accordions out. And as you go down the accordion, you get deeper into the ocean. And so I was laying out what fishes I would put where. And here I was just trying to sketch out some of the different fishes before I put it in there. More and more hands. My foreshortening is not that great, as you can see here. I think I get better at it. And then I was running out of different hand positions, and so I decided to do the ASL alphabet, doing some wing studies, working on drawing from imagination. I again decided, okay, I'm going to try to draw this from imagination without looking up a reference first. And I wanted to draw a Japanese style pagoda, and I could not remember what that looked like. So then I looked up a reference and drew from that and wrote down some notes about key features and then wrote some takeaways down here about how those buildings look. I was getting toward the end of the sketchbook, so I was thinking about my next sketchbook. What do I want the first page to look like? So again, just sketching out some ideas there. Over here, this was an experiment in being loose. I think at the time I was confounding loose with fast, and so I was not spending very much time on how I actually drew the thing. I was just trying to be fast, which I thought would make me loose. So this didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it was an interesting experiment. So this page, I had these watercolor brush pens. The watercolors are already in there, and I was just playing with what the textures look like when you brush it across the page really quickly. And this is how I came up with my final design for my tattoo. As you can see, I had the stripes across here look like a watercolor brush stroke. And I'm super happy that I did this because I like this design much better than my original design. This is another one of those blob drawings where you just draw some blobs and then try and make them into a thing. Here I am working on the ASL alphabet and drawing a bunch of different hands. These are a lot smaller, but sometimes I'm going to have to draw hands small, so it's good practice. So I finish up the hands over here, and over here is this beautiful page. I love this page. I love how colorful it is. I'm trying to get that so you can actually see it. And I like how everything is laid out. I do absolutely adore how this looks. I love how colorful it is. I love the balance of heavy lines to light lines. So I'm glad that I spent the time on it. Just some more doodles over here. I was trying to draw my cat. She ended up falling into that uncanny valley where it doesn't quite look like a cat. It looks like something pretending to be a cat. I didn't know how to rescue it, so I just left her being there. These are some designs that are on some throw pillows that I have in my living room. And then continuing hands over here. That's a terrible one. So on this page, I was using some alcohol markers to do shading, and I love how these turned out. It was a lot of fun playing with that to get the nice shading in and get that three-dimensionality of the hands. So love this page. Started to do it over here and decided I didn't want to have a bunch of alcohol marker bleeding through on the next page. So this is actually just a Tombow marker here, and then I just went back to pencil. I know that I love fantasy. I love fantasy artwork. I think it's beautiful, and so I wanted to try and draw some dragons. And I think that I had watched a thing on how to draw dragons and started to try and draw some from imagination. They are absolutely terrible, but it was worth a try. I think the eyes are great, but the overall structure of the face is not good. This over here is continuing to ideate on the mermaidifying my karate instructor, and I don't think I like any of these designs, but it was some nice thumbnailing here. Continuing with hands, because I haven't done 100 yet. Here, just a doodle that this is kind of a scribble page where you scribble all over and then you fill in the different areas with different designs. I like the colors, but I don't really like the designs. More hands. Nothing terribly exciting here. And I did get to 100 hands before the end. Here, I was at the end of the sketchbook, and so I wanted to find something to fill up the last page. So I found a thing that was different layouts for drawings and wrote them down here just so that I had them for reference later. This is my swatch page. I always reserve the last page for a swatch page, and I was just drawing a couple of things here. And then the end of my sketchbook, I often save for just writing down different ideas of things that I want to try later. And it looks like this is the third gnome that was in that set of gnomes that I stuck here at the end of the page, or end of the sketchbook. And that is that. That is my third completed sketchbook as an adult. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything that you want to see me do in the future, please let me know in the comments below. Please give the like and subscribe, and I will see you sometime later.